going on, everybody? I have been working hard on a tool to help me identify opportunities in the crypto market for algo trading, especially automated algo trading. And I want to share with you what I've been working on over the last few weeks. If you've been following along with me over the past year, you know that I've been working on a market making algo, both a hedged and unhedged version, and just some crypto trading strategies in general. And I am a Java developer in my previous life. And so all of my algos, or almost all of my algos, are written in Java. So I've developed a software development kit that I've open sourced, and I've been adding support for more exchanges to it over the past year. And so I decided that I was going to create a tool here to be able to help me kind of test out the support for all of these exchanges that I have been adding. So it'll be a centralized location that will help to see where all the prices are and the funding rates as well. In addition to be able to trade to those various exchanges from a single interface. So let's jump into it here. We'll just take a quick peek first at the dashboard. I call it Switchboard because it kind of is a centralized location for talking to all these different exchanges from one user interface. Now, the reason behind this, as I mentioned, if you're getting into algo trading and especially automated trading and you are looking for a software development kit, a lot of the exchanges have something available. Now, the problem is that there's not a common interface for these for Java, at least. There is a C Sharp and I believe maybe a Python open source library called like CCXT or something like that that you can find out on GitHub, but not a Java implementation of that. So I have out there on GitHub. It's called the Fueled by Chai Trading Library, and it supports a number of different exchanges. I think I got 10 or 11 exchanges, and I originally had created this actually to connect to interactive brokers, and there is support for that, except their API has changed a lot over the years, and I don't know if it's still working or not, but I did a lot of automated trading there. So in theory, this could work as well with interactive brokers, but I've got a number of different crypto exchanges, both centralized and decentralized, on here that I support streaming quotes and working on placing trades as well. Now, I wanted a way just to be able to test these, to be able to to submit an order of different types, so like a limit order, a stop order, good till canceled, a cancel order request, like all these different things that I want to test at the various exchanges. But I don't have to want to rewrite the same code over and over and over again. And so that's kind of where this library comes in. It provides kind of an abstraction layer, so you can make a request to one of these exchanges and you don't need to know the specifics on how that exchange handles the underlying requests, like the data types that they take and all that stuff. This library kind of handles that translation for you. So you submit an order to say Paradex, and it's going to look exactly like if you submitted an order to Hyperliquid. You just change the exchange name basically. So what I wanted was a pretty interface to be able to do that, to be able to test it out, to subscribe to the quotes, make sure the data is coming in correctly, make sure I can submit and cancel orders, and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to open source this tool as well. If anybody wants to play with this, it's going to be out on my GitHub page. I call it Switchboard. And right now I've got support for 10 different exchanges. And this is kind of the first step with developing an algo, right? Is just getting the tickers that a particular exchange supports. So not only the symbols and the specifications about the ticker, like what the minimum order size is, what the symbol is, and that stuff, but also like what the asset type is. So here we have perpetual futures, we have options, we have a spot, the actual spot, and then we have regular futures, like futures that have actual expirations So you see like Bybit, OKX, and I'm actually kind of surprised Deribit should, uh, maybe not. Maybe they just have perpetual futures. They're just big on options. And then if you actually click on the number here, it'll just give you a list of the symbols that are there. So that's kind of the first step, is just like connecting to exchange and finding out what's even available to trade there and getting the proper format for those tickers. That's kind of the first step. Now we can already see there's like a bug here with the Hyperliquid library, in that it's not listing any spot markets, and we know that's not true. Hyperliquid definitely has spot markets available. And also, if you click on the exchange itself, it will pull up both, or all of the different asset classes they have. So that's one cool thing. Now the next thing is actually like subscribing to the ticker symbols and getting the prices and stuff like that. So we can see here we have PaxG up, which is the gold, one of the gold um, tokens. And we have the bids and asks updated. We have the spread between the bid and ask and basis points. We got the last price, the volume, and the funding rate. Now, what we can tell right away here is that we're not getting all of the data that we're expecting here. We got the last price, like for Aster, isn't showing up, unless we just haven't had a trade since I've been running this. But highly unlikely for Binance Futures or Binance Spot to not have a last price. But we can see other data coming in. And Drift is an exchange I just recently added, so the bid and ask is not coming through, but it looks like the volume and the last price is. And then funding rate on some of these is not, maybe, well, these two are spots, so there is no funding rate, but Bybit not getting a funding rate there. So, and then support for trading, I'm working on connecting right now. So in theory, you could click on the Hyperliquid contract here, and if you have an account at Hyperliquid, you can place a trade and transmit the order and make sure that the correct thing is happening. Now the cool thing about this, and I'll go ahead and blow these away here so we can start from scratch, is that, let's say I want to pull up all the XAG symbols. So these are all the exchanges that are currently supported by the tool that have this token listed. Now this is all in perpetual future form, so we can see there's 5 exchanges here that have it. And this is the silver token, by the way. And Paradex just added this thing this week, their very first real world asset that they have listed here. So as the prices start rolling in from the data feeds, the UI will start updating and firing away here. So the cool thing about this is it makes it easy to identify some opportunities, like for funding rate arbitrage, for example, because we can see here that like on OKX, it says it's 0. It may be, it may not be. I'm a little skeptical, but let's say on Lighter, funding rate is about 16% annualized. On Paradex, it's 164% annualized. So you have the opportunity there potentially take advantage of that funding rate difference. And then you can just see what the bid-ask spread is in general. So you can see here on Paradex, it's a bit higher. It's kind of fluctuating between 8 and 50 basis points. So what that kind of says is this could be a good venue potentially to do market making on, because if the spread here tends to be wider, you can quote a little wider, potentially get some good fills, and then offset on an exchange, hedge on an exchange that has tighter spreads or a bit more liquidity. So I'm going to be pushing these changes out to my GitHub page. So I'll put the comments into I'll put the URL into the comment section here, and then allow anybody who wants to use this to go ahead and use this. Now, this definitely use at your own risk. I'm working on the underlying library itself, which is the Fueled by Chai library, which is actually providing all the quotes and working out the issues that, like we're seeing here with the last price on Aster not showing up. And then my next step will be to start supporting placing actual trades. So Paradex is already supported. There's limited support for placing trades with lighter and hyperliquid at this point as well, although not many order types are supported yet. But the whole thing is, my whole goal with this is, and I'll show you another dashboard that I've been working on from a market maker perspective here. And this is just trading against oh, let me share my screen here. This is just trading against a kind of a mock broker. So it's not placing real trades. It's placing trades into a kind of a paper trade account, but it's using live data to do that. And so it's monitoring a number of different assets here. And when it gets an order filled, it will try to offset that at a different exchange. So the cool thing here again with this data feed is that you can identify differences in funding rates. You can identify pairs that have a pretty high spread. So doing market making on those pairs could potentially be good. So you can see here on Pippin, on lighter, the spread is, almost 30 basis points. That's pretty juicy. On dot, it's 11. Um, and then like on QQQ, actually yesterday I was seeing the difference between the spreads was almost 10 basis points between lighter and Aster, meaning you could buy one exchange and sell the other and pocket a 10 basis point difference, and there was a funding rate difference as well. So that's kind of what I'm working towards here is and trying to enhance the market making aspect of uh, of this SDK, and to be able to support more symbols, more asset types, and more exchanges. So if you guys are working on something, I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. If you have any feedback on this, or if there's something in particular that you would like to see, I'd love to hear that as well. And be looking for some more stuff coming out soon. It's been a little while since I've created some content, but I've got some stuff in the works. But I've been kind of heads down on coding and trying to enhance what I've got going here with these strategies. So I hope you guys are having an awesome week this week, and I will see you soon. Bye.